Greetings and salutations, one and all. This is Under Armour Lacrosse live as the Brunswick school travels down the Jersey Turnpike to take on the Lawrenceville Big Red in a tremendous matchup. One team in the top 25, the other on the outside looking in as we get ready to go on a sketchy weather day from Lawrenceville. Thanks for joining us, Booker Corrigan, alongside my partner in crime, Bob Shriver. Bob, what do you like about this matchup?
Brunswick, number 3 ranked team in the country, has already played 4 games and handled all competitions so far. Lawrenceville, new coach John Posner trying to establish his style of play very quickly in New Jersey.
It'll be a great one. We have our Gets players to watch. Who do you like for the visiting Brunswick?
Well, we're going to start with Luke Shlank, the junior goaltender. Coach Bruce says that Luke's one of these kids that doesn't jump off at you, but he's exceptional, headed to Georgetown. Senior midi Luke Waters, one of the best players at his position in the country, big strapping left-hander who's talented, going to Duke University, and another junior defenseman committed to play for your first cousin, Kevin Corrigan, at the University of Notre Dame. Will Donovan, an exceptional player at his position.
And for the Lawrenceville Big Red, who are their stars?
Well, we're going to start with 2 sophomores, really. Quentin Kilrain is an uncut guy. Obviously, he's a defenseman, just a sophomore, but Coach Posner thinks he's going to be just a tremendous player, and he already is one. Hunter is a player that came to Lawrenceville with Coach Posner from Culver Academy, where his brother played for Coach Posner. He's a sophomore attackman, also an incredibly skilled kid. And then there are outstanding midfielder Lucas Osborne, committed to Yale. This is somebody that Coach Posner feels very fortunate he inherited.
Nice to see those fellas getting some love. Coach Posner certainly proud of his Lawrenceville guy. And Brunswick, they are on the road today. Getting right to the face-off as promised. Brunswick in the road darks and dark numbers. Lawrenceville home whites as Mackles from Lawrenceville takes the face-off against, for Brunswick, it is Blake Burchell. Ball skitters towards the offensive end of Lawrenceville, but it's gathered momentarily by Bruns. Now it's Lawrenceville with possession, and this is Chevette. You talked about him in the open, Bob. Brunswick comes in, they're number 3 in the country. Lawrenceville establish their tone.
Coach Posner wants to take care of things that they just did very nicely, which is the balls, get after them. They want to fight like crazy in the middle of the field, control the tempo a little bit, and try to get Osborne, their big-time midi, and Chevette, who, while only a sophomore, he's a terrific player. They don't think they have a lot of guys that can consistently reach off the dribble, we like to say, and so they want to do it with, some things like we just saw, picks off the ball, try to free a guy up, see if they can't get a bad switch. And we are playing NCAA rules, so this 80-second shot clock is winding down.
This is DJ Clark, number 22, Phil. And he has had possession for a little while. See if he's able to make something happen across the top. This is Skoma. Skoma, swim move, shot. And a nice battle by Shlank, but that will give them a reset of the shot on goal clock as Chevette gathers the loose ball and Lawrenceville maintains possession. Skoma comes up to get it. Skoma giving some orders to his offensive teammates. Shot high and wide, backed up by Lawrenceville. See what they have in store for an inbounds play. And now we're getting a reset of that shot on goal clock. You like calling it the shot on goal clock, Bob, because it's not just a shot clock. Anybody can just shoot.
Well, you're just referring to that because if a shot is on goal, then the clock resets.
Yeah.
Whether the goalie hits a pipe, and certainly.
And it goes in.
Well, if it goes in, then we're headed to the midline for a face-off.
It counts one.
Look at that mammoth young man back there playing defense right here. I can't see that number. That's number 9, I think. Yeah, James Walker, just a junior. Number 8, excuse me, I apologize. Mario Rinaldi headed to Bucknell University. He is a tall young man.
He certainly is. And now it's behind Matea. Matea rolls back against Rinaldi.
Try to free up Chevette there on a nice inside pick play. That's a turnover.
Yep. Once they establish possession inside the restraining box, it's now over and back. And here comes that transition we talked about.
That's Delgado, excuse me, who's Thomas may be on this same midfield with him, and we'll see the young man, Luke Waters, that we talked about at the outset. Left hand, it's him with the ball right here. And they don't mind attacking poles, Coach Bruce says. They actually like to attack poles and hope they can draw a slide, and then they'll start spinning the ball.
This is Delgado. Both the Delgados did a great job of that Under Armour underclass tryout. Little hitch move.
3 sets of brothers on the Brunswick team.
And now this is Chris Gain. Gain had a game against Penn Charter to start things off for Brunswick and the Bruins. Up top to Lucas Delgado. Splits right. Rolls back. Outside shot. Piacentini comes down with it. Nice job kicking out the leg.
Referee singled the goaltender, got a piece of that, so the shot clock resets. Look, they're attacking the player. They're not afraid to do that. Somebody steps to, and then they'll start spinning the ball.
Delgado shares it with her. And now they get the lefty shot, rebound, score. Quick work of the rebound, and that is Chris Gain, the junior.
Let's see if we get a replay here. It looks like the ball bounced off somebody off this shot right to, not exactly sure. Let's see. Nope, the goaltender got it, but it kicked back right to Gain standing on the doorstep. Nice finish, but a good save. Fresh goaltender. Piacentini hanging in there for the Big Red and Coach Posner.
And this is Will O'Connor, junior bound for Michigan. Bringing it into the offensive end. Also seeing our first look at Blake Borges going to Syracuse, the senior number 21. He's joined on midfield with Miles Spees. Miles Spees, top center, number 17. Down on the wing and behind, and now it's Kane.
Well, right away, Lawrence is quick to slide. They're pretty buttoned down on the defensive end. Look, here comes a number 6 flashing. Brunswick looks like they don't have any hesitation pulling the trigger. That's about their 5th or 6th shot already.
This is Gain. Gets it to Leo Hoff. Oh, inside feed shot finish.
Gain on the doorstep again. Looks like he's comfortable there. Nice feed. Almost an invert with the midi.
Yep,
driving in the wing, took it behind the goal. Frequently, as a ball back behind the goal, defense men in general have a tendency to turn their head, see if that's not what happened here. There goes 21. He leaves Gain alone. Once 21 leaves, there's no reason for 21 to slide here. No reason whatsoever. The player with the ball's going behind the goal, so 21 doesn't have to slide there.
Medina.
And we always like to say, when 21 slid, he slid to the man's eyes. and he slid to has his eyes up and found his open man on the crease pretty easily.
Andrew Greenspan took that face-off for Brunswick, but the face-off win, and now it's in the stick of Charlie Hoban, headed for Wesleyan.
And we see Coach Bruce talked about it again, that Brunswick really likes to press out. They like to force the pace a little bit. They're going to ride you extremely hard and try to get a couple cheapies, if you call it. You know, a good team play, see if they can't make some activity there, and they just did that off the face-off.
Lucas Osborne now out of Bowmanville, Ontario, headed for Yale. In on offense for Lawrenceville.
Well, Coach Posner, Brunswick either scouted them well, but Coach Posner said he has trouble breaking people down on a consistent basis. So Brunswick's taking advantage of that by pressing out a lot.
Low shot handled by Shlank.
Big save.
Little leg save there, but he did not allow the rebound to go away. Now it's Connor.
Again, pushing transition at every opportunity.
Clock now at the 5-minute mark here, quarter. It's been all Brunswick on the scoreboard, but we've been up and down.
There's a game on the other field, if you notice, and you're hearing some whistles in the background. That's just play from the other field. Looks like a girls' game over there.
That is actually the Lawrenceville girls playing the Petty School. Best of luck to Bella Koch, number 3. Bella committed to Bucknell. Back on our field, Brunswick back on offense. Shot down low, and it made it all the way to the goal, but you see the battle in this Brunswick offense. When the ball goes on the ground, it's almost like they got you right where they want you. And as I say that, Delgado comes out, left-handed, running behind, guarded by Kevin Morrow. And there is a dunk you very much. Delgado turns and scores.
That's the young
that
brother.
Is Tommy.
That's Tommy, the younger brother, is it not?
Yep.
Just a sophomore. Nice play. Great ground ball on the side. He kept the ball, just kept driving. Number 17.
There's Kevin Morrow.
Kevin Morrow's dad, Dave Morrow, is one of the great college defensemen of all time at Princeton University.
2-time Schmeiser Cup Award winner.
Defenseman of the Year.
Yeah, Defenseman of the Year, Division I. He split it with Brian Burlace in '92 and then won it outright in 1993. As Lawrenceville takes to set things back state. How important is that timeout as a coach, Bob?
Just settling them down, you know. Coach Posner just got the job, so he inherited a number of players, obviously, that were already at Lawrenceville. He did, some of the young men that he coached at Culver came with him to Lawrenceville. But, you know, he's in many respects like a college coach who's just gotten a new job, you know, and he has to play with the players that somebody else had prior to him. And this is a work in progress for Coach Posner.
Well, every team's a work, but this more so because he's new.
More so. And if you look at the history of Culver, you know, it took him about 4, 5, 6 years to get that Culver program up and running. And once it got up and running, man, all they did was run. You know,
Pierre Byrne, one of their all-time greats. Talking about all-time greats, one of the all-time greats at Lawrenceville, Pete Najarian. As we see Chris Matea doing work in the middle of the field.
Running for his life away from Will Donovan, somebody we talked about at the outset, who is a big-time recruit going to Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is known for having some tremendous defense. Look at this. That's pressure way out that Brunswick is putting on the Big Red.
John Okupski, number 37 for Lawrenceville, comes around lefty. Chevette low to high scorcher as we get a good look at Charlie Johnson, the Duke commit. Big Charlie, the defenseman for Brunswick. And this is Matea. Matea guarded by Rinaldi.
Boy, Shlank, beautiful. He's made a couple of tremendous saves.
Whistle. They get a crease violation behind the play. Lawrenceville benefited slightly on that one, able to sub some guys in. This is Chris Gain. Already has 2 goals today. He gives it over to number 45, Blake Borges, senior.
Well, again, so many teams prefer to initiate offense from behind the goal, but we're seeing Brunswick, they're very intent on initiating their offense from in front of the goal. And not a lot of teams do that on a consistent basis.
This is Hoffman. Guarded well by number 7, Chase Lewis. Chase Lewis played a great game in the game against Penn Charter for Lawrenceville. Oh, what a shot. See the high to low shot there by Coulter Mackesy,
who again is a commit headed to Princeton University, right up the street. Coach really likes him. One of the things I must tell you, you know who Brunswick reminds me of? You know, please understand, anybody that's watching this that's not familiar, Booker and I do a lot of games out of the MIAA, the Maryland Interscholastic Athletic Association, teams like Calvert Hall and Boys Latin, Loyola, et cetera, et cetera. And I tell you who Brunswick reminds me a lot of right now is Calvert Hall.
Yeah, the 2019
you know,
Calvert
they're
Hall
very
squad.
comfortable,
Yep.
ball on the ground. In fact, they don't mind playing with the ball on the ground. Put it on the ground and we're going to beat you to it, and then you're scrambling to get back in the hole, and that's how they've scored 2 of their goals already.
This is Luke Waters, number 25. He relinquished it over to the wing. Little look-away pass there. And Waters collects.
Nice slide by number 6, who we talked about at the outset, excuse me, for Lawrenceville, Quentin Kilren.
And another goal. That time, Colton Mackesy and Delgado celebrating together. They have been the story so far as Brunswick certainly in control here. There's Delgado. Gets it over to Mackesy and just left-handed rings it into the corner.
Well, again, all the offenses from in front of the goal so far for Brunswick, all of it. So one way to mitigate that is to play zone, and you might be able to take some of that away from them. Now, again, Coach Posner's he's establishing what he wants to do. You know, this game isn't so much about we got to win this game. You know, he wants to build his program, build this season to the style of play that he expects them to have, so he may be not intent on playing a zone and trying to slow down that midfield attack from the Bruins of Brunswick High School. 3rd-ranked team in the country, and we're seeing why right now.
Ball bounced towards the end line. Late in the quarter as we see Upchurch number 9 out of Jacksonville, Florida. I was just down there last weekend. What a beautiful program Johnny Galloway has at Jacksonville University. Upchurch, of course, committed to Colgate. And here is Upchurch. Rolls back lefty, gets it up top. 3 seconds on the clock. Inside feed, and that will put the first quarter in the books. 5-0 Brunswick. We're liking what we're seeing out of the Bruins. Great feeds, great plays. Second quarter already underway. Lawrenceville wins the face-off clean. Great work by Lawrenceville face-off guy so far, Trevor Mackles. And he is a native of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Lawrenceville offense. This is Upchurch. Number 9 gets it behind to Mateus. Mateus held up momentarily, and now it's in the capable hands of Mr. DJ Clark.
Held up momentarily. I think Coach Posner on the sideline was asking for the same call.
What's he got to do to get the call there? Oh, and a D-twagging on the far side.
You can't. It's tough to see the numbers, but I'm pretty sure that's Donovan right there. And good luck, unsuccessful. They don't mind doing that, right? Again, Brunswick loves to push the transition.
Kilren looks to get it back. Morrow gathers. And now they get it to the short stick.
So they've got Morrow, a freshman. The goaltender's a freshman.
Yep, Piacentini. And I got a chance to watch Lawrenceville play Haverford School, and he played quite well in that game. Haverford ended up winning, but Timmy Piacentini played admirably for the Big Red from Lawrenceville. Coming around shooting, Will Ford out of Denver, Colorado, and he is just a sophomore.
I did look at the Lawrenceville roster, and I just counted different states. They have kids from 10 states and Canada on their squad. And that will probably grow as Coach Posner, who's been recruiting nationally at Culver for years.
Sure. La Jolla, California. Peterborough, Ontario. Oh, great inside roll shot finish. Great. Abe Lincoln's mullet. Lawrenceville on the board in the form of Chris Matea.
Nice play by Chris. He just drove up, got slightly above the goal line, extended. Defenseman overextends himself right here. Watch. Right? He overextended, and when that happens, inside roll is probably the only thing available to you. Watch. Overextends. Right?
Yeah.
Boom. Nice play by Matea. Really nice.
And an interesting location on that roll. He didn't go up to the 5x5 or the island, as they like to call it. He did it right on goal line extended, which I used to do when I coached at McDonough. We used to teach that as a flat roll, as opposed to getting all the way up to the inside roll where slides are a little bit faster. And a late hit, I think we might have had.
No face-off.
Lawrenceville might be able to build some.
They called a cross check on that play. Lawrenceville's got a chance without a face-off for an extra man.
Coach Bruce at Brunswick, joined by Brendan Gilsonen, J.R. Mastro, David Earl, and Chris Searcy. David Earl with a little fighting Irish connection. As here we go with the man up for Lawrenceville, Coach John Posner. What a job he did at Culver, and they're certainly expecting great things.
Well, just based on what we've seen so far, I'm assuming that he'd love to have this guy right here get his hands free. Hunter Chevette, left-handed, incredibly talented.
Jack Scoma, who was on that Under Armour All-American Senior Game watch list, number 3. Watch out for him unleashing that right-hand cannon he's known for. Here's Chevette. Here's Clark. Inside feed shot goes just wide.
Matea inside, open. Nice feed inside. Dropped his stick and just missed the cage.
Good look at number 33, Will Donovan, committed to Notre Dame. And this is Lucas Osborne. Booker Corrigan and Bob Shriver bringing the call here at Lawrenceville. Don't go anywhere.
Look at how Lucas is holding his, look at how Lucas is holding the stick right there. Where would you say he's from?
Canada. As a matter of fact, I would say he's from Bowmanville, Ontario. Don't go anywhere at halftime. The Tector Shield halftime show will be coming up. Here's Clark, gets it picked off, and they just cheap it down the field.
That's an interesting little strategy there.
There's Skoma, number 3.
Lawrenceville defense alert at the other end. Another.
Skoma gathers it for Lawrenceville. Yet to see number 12, Drew Friedman for Lawrenceville. He's committed to Yale. And I know they have Jack Reichert out with a broken hand. Oh, inside feed shot goal. Finish it. Lucas Osborne,
Booker,
the
this
Ontario
penalty,
native.
I apologize, but this penalty was obviously longer than a minute.
Yeah.
And extra man offense, if you can skip a man, skip the ball through the defense, beautiful pass, no look past Osborne, the Canadian right where he's extremely talented. Watch how quickly this ball gets in the goal. Great pass, beautiful.
Looked like Johnsville birdie to Tom Maricek.
DJ Clark, another Canadian from Peterborough. I was in Peterborough about 2 years ago watching the U.S. under-19 girls team play in the World Championships.
The people in Peterborough still talk about that, Bob. They love having you.
Not much going on up in Peterborough. A lot of lacrosse.
They're a lot watching us today. Thanks so much for making us part of your sports viewing day. And this is a great opportunity to thank all our brave servicemen and women of the armed forces and first responders. Folks who have more courage than I do. Thank you for all you do. Brunswick, first possession in a while.
I cannot tell. We apologize. It appears, no, we're all even. Brunswick's even now.
This is Borges. Right to right split. Rolls back. Low to high scorcher by Coulter Mackesy.
I think the ball got stuck in his stick there. It hit the top of that tree at about 40 feet up in the air.
We call that a desk pop. This is Wells Falstich. Falstich rolls back. Low bouncing shot by Blake Borges.
They clearly, they attack from up top. They stick to their guns. It's a little
Chase
easier
Lewis doing a nice job defensively for the Big Red. And now we're going to get a procedural violation, loose ball, turn ball back over to Brunswick. Oh, full-on foul. They called that a slash. And we'll get our first look at the skilled Brunswick man-up squad. Looks like the foul was on Chase Lewis.
Starting in a 2-3-1 from up top. The extra man, now they're rolling into, it looks like they want to get into a 3-3.
Moving the ball very quickly.
They're just rolling in and out of a 3-3.
Great save by Piacentini. Inside feed, scoop shot. And we're going to stay here with possession. Credit the shot to Luke Waters. Inside crease player right now on this man up, but he will roll. They roll everybody everywhere. Mackesy down the wing.
They're just rolling in and out of a 3-3. Watch, there's number 5 slipping out of the crease. 2, Coulter steps down to fill his spot. See if they don't rolling. Very similar extra pattern to watch. Here they're rolling out of this. Syracuse does this all the time.
Oh, outside shot, high to low goal that time. Luke Waters, the Duke commit, and just fast ball movement.
Yeah, and body movement. It's trying hard to see, but watch. 12's going to carry up. He's going to fill in the middle. Waters is going to fill his spot. The top guy, number 18, is going to cut down to the crease. Look, they're just rolling these 4 guys around in a circle. And this is the best way you can describe it is anytime you watch Syracuse play lacrosse, this is how they've been playing extra man for years. Number 18.
Win for Mackles.
Mackles is having a nice game facing off. Really nice game.
And it's all the way up top now. Lukowski. He'll spin it around. Keep your eyes on number 19, Hunter Chevette. His brother Cam at Hopkins, and his dad Derek, hockey player at Brown in his day.
Invert turnover. Pick the ball up and go.
And if the defender reaches over and keeps that ball on that side of midfield, they don't lose possession.
That's correct, but things happened there. The ball got over the midline, and the defender also stepped on. So there would have been offsides on Lawrenceville anyhow.
Brunswick proving why they are the number 3 ranked team in the country. Nice little hitch move shot, save Piacentini. Timmy, the freshman, gobbles that one up. And they're that Brunswick has become known for. Shot, goal. Hooper drives the boat, Chief.
Hey, second chances typically come back to kill you. Failure to clear. Balls back in the back of the net very quickly. Watch. Just a silly turnover and away. Coulter finds his man. What was that number, 25? That wasn't Waters. That was Delgado. Great look.
Straight up 20. Lucas Delgado. Face-off win for Brunswick.
Well,
and some speed right down the teeth of the defense.
Number 14, Owen Guest, headed to Army. Good play.
Coach Joe Albarisi getting a good one there. Offensive coach Justin Ward, former Maryland Rough Rider. Rough Rider's one of our sponsors here today, along with MedStar and the New York Rivals tournament. So far, Brunswick has played a clean game regarding turnovers and some of the things I saw in preps when I watched them play Penn Charter. This is Mackesy.
Got a nice matchup. Got a shorty.
Mackesy shot goes just wide.
You see that? He shot that. He turned that stick over from his left hand to his right hand and shot down backhanded. It's a very typical play you see in the women's game a lot, actually, because they don't often switch hands. That time, Mackesy elected not to switch hands.
Blake Borges. Lefty rolls back, righty. Maintains possession. And this is Mackesy. Guarded by Chase Lewis. Outside shot goes just wide. And the shot on goal clock winding down. Thanks so much to our friends at Lax Works.
Let's see this. This is the first time they've actually had a setup ride, Brunswick. They pride themselves on riding very hard, trying to turn the ball over.
And then you see they got 4 guys on the ball. And now Lawrenceville in a bit of a time jam getting it over the midfield line. They have 20 seconds to get it over, and they fail to do that.
20-second clock. Brunswick ball. Have a little unsettled, possibly. Lawrenceville did a good job getting their defensive personnel back in the game.
Tyler Menino, number 25, 21, hustling in. Charlie Hoban out of Illinois going back to play the ball, number 8 for Lawrenceville, as Brunswick still spinning it. Shot
Beautiful
goes just wide.
redodge. Beautiful redodge by number 25. Who
Luke Waters.
there was Luke Waters. Really nice. He drove, stepped back, and then drove again. Just call it a re-dodge.
This is Magnuson. And
Even
moving pick.
Maybe that's why they don't put the ball behind the goal very much.
And Lawrenceville successful and clear there.
That was a nice pass.
Liam Sargent, number 5, doing a good job.
Quentin Kilren, nice pass on that clear.
Coach Posner is going to take a timeout with 1:52 to go. 7-2 right now. Brunswick in the lead as we get a good look at that Brunswick ride. They're known for it. They're also known for scoring goals. Under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Great to see that National Cup with the different districts being divided. Corrigan Sports doing a nice job getting all those girls club team together, and it all starts down in Tampa, Florida on June 4th is the Under Armour underclass tryout for boys and girls, and then a great girls tournament on June 5th and 6th at the Tournament Sportsplex at Tampa Bay. Hunter Chavette puts it in for Lawrenceville.
Well, Coach called a timeout. He's got 80 seconds to do something with this, actually probably closer to 70, and he'd just as soon have this ball in their sticks, not necessarily to end the quarter, but he'd love to finish his possession with a tally, get him back
DJ Clark field it, and he likes it. Goodness, the worm burner.
DJ, beautiful pass on the extra man a couple minutes ago for Lawrenceville, and this is just a simple play up top. He's got a little screen, it looks like. Yep, nice screen by his teammate, number 24 there for Lawrenceville. Really nice screen by Matea. Goaltender never saw that ball. Ends up in the back of the goal. The screen game, there's two things in my opinion in lacrosse that really aren't used very much. Screening a goaltender, so common in hockey, is not part of lacrosse as much as it used to be, and one of the reasons is the ball's just going too fast. You know.
Yep. 1:11 remaining in the half. Timeout Brunswick as we get a look at DJ Clark, low to low. Great to see the smile on Matt Rambo's face when he played for the Philadelphia team in the underclass tournament, when he was MVP of the senior game, when he won a national championship at University of Maryland, when he did great work for the Whipsnakes and Coach Jim Stagnita. Wow.
I'll never forget when he was in high school, he was playing a club tournament that was actually at Boys Latin at the same time the Under Armour was going on at Towson University. I think he played 7 games in one day, and I think he probably had close to 40 goals.
Yeah, it's about right. He's about 6-goal-a-game guy, 42. Delgado gets it across the top. Popping off the crease is number 5, Leo Hoffman. Hoffman right-handed dodge. Delgado shot. Piacentini may have gotten a piece. Hoffman shot. And Piacentini collects it as he shrugged it off into his stick. But now here comes the ride.
Pretty relentless.
Yeah. Hoban retreats. Goes up the sideline. And like you said, Bob, they are just unrelenting. Long pass and time. No. They're going to call that a good goal. Now we're going to sort it out. We heard a horn. Referees come together. I don't know if Judge Joe Murphy's in on that conversation or not. And they call it a goal. Not exactly what Lawrenceville needed to happen there.
Now, it looks like there's a teeny bit of confusion here, but there's Brunswick taking advantage of things that Coach Bruce talked about before the game. Beautiful ride. Little bit of a Gilman clear by Lawrenceville. Defenseman picked it up, and as we like to say, the ball moves faster than the body, and the ball moved from one end of the field to the other in about a second and a half. There's going to be 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. 1 second, it looks like. And anyhow, the ball moved about 60, 70 yards up the field in about a second, 2 seconds.
And that's all they needed.
And the ball ends up in the back of the cage. Nice play.
We have the Techner Shield halftime show coming up. You're watching Under Armour Lacrosse Live. Go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com and find a way to try out for the underclass teams in your area. Halftime here at Lawrenceville, Booker Corrigan alongside my partner in crime, Bob Shriver. 8-3 Brunswick in the lead. This is the Techner Shields halftime show, and just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights and stats tie the game together. It was all Brunswick early, eh, Bob?
It was. Just a very lucky bouncing away. Nice save, but then Gain standing on the doorstep. Here's a bad slide by Lawrenceville there. Gain again steps in the front of the crease. Nice feed. Oh, beautiful dodge by number 11 right there. Delgado. Younger brother. And then here's Coulter Mackesy getting it rolling here a little bit. Talented left-handed player headed to Princeton. Just dunks one there, coming down the alley. Gets back to a strong hand. And then finally, really beautiful inside roll here. Watch this inside roll by Matea. Overplayed by the defenseman and took advantage of it. And then right now, this is an extra man. Beautiful shot.
Luke
Walters, their talented midi. And beautiful ride right there. And Coulter Mackesy picked up the loose ball and found his teammate open on the far side.
This is DJ Clark rolling back. Comes back to a strong right hand. Worm burner.
Little worm burner. I think a combination of a defenseman screening the goalie. And there's Coulter Mackesy with his third goal. He's got 3 goals and 1 assist in this half. Pretty impressive, but that was off Brunswick's really quality ride.
You see the face-offs heavily in favor of Lawrenceville. Assisted goals, 3 of them for Brunswick. Techner Lacrosse bringing you the halftime stats and show. What an absolute job. Now let's talk about the NHSLS. It's one of my favorite tournaments all year. It's high school teams getting together. You got your first half standouts. What'd you love about them?
Well, besides, we talked about both these players, but the NHSLS is a tournament that myself and a couple other guys, Andy Hillgardner, the coach at McDonough, and I have been running. This will be our 9th summer. It's a tournament in Howard County in Maryland for high school teams only. Throughout the country, we've had teams coming from 17 states in the District of Columbia, and we're looking for a big turnout this summer. Lawrenceville will be coming. Coach Posner's bought Culver for years, and he's switching scenes this year and is bringing his Lawrenceville Big Red down to Howard County in June.
That NHSLS is certainly one of my favorite weeks of the summer, even though I'm not making money on it, Bob. I got to get on the payroll. Mary and I want to be a part of that. Let's look at our national rankings presented by Future Champions up in Hartford, Connecticut. Memorial Day weekend. Get your teams involved with that. McDonough Spalding, Malvern Prep. And there's Brunswick at number 4 on these rankings. Some media outlets have them at 3. Taft, studs. Haverford, very, very good. I love Michael. One of their midfielders up there is an absolute star, Michael Bozzi. And Deerfield, number 10. Kate Goldberg getting a little representation.
Kate Goldberg, son of the great Jeff Goldberg from Florida, headed to Georgetown University. Kate is. But look at these teams. Those people that follow high school lacrosse pretty much will recognize most of those teams. Spalding may be the outlier. Archbishop Spalding and Glen Burnie, Maryland plays in the MIAA, and they have a terrific team this year.
And Bullis, of course, led by Jeff Balestri coming in at 6. Great rankings right there. It'll be interesting to see how the spring evolves. It's halftime here at Lawrenceville. Great to see Lax Works on board. If you haven't checked out the Lax Works rebounder, Bob, you have to check it out. Here's your Under Armour tryout schedule. New Jersey, love the way those guys get after it. So strong, July 12th. And then, of course, New England and the Connie region and Long Island, all well represented every time. Make sure you go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com to learn how you can rep your region. Halftime has come to an end, and we are ready for the third quarter. As we look at our next game, Bob, April 27th, it is Haverford versus Episcopal. That will be a Pennsylvania barn burner. They call that the rivalry game. My nephew Rocky, student at Haverford School. Bob, between the two of us, I think we have the entire globe of lacrosse covered. Violation against Brunswick, and it's going to give possession momentarily to Lawrenceville.
Well, while they're running their face-off personnel off the field, Brunswick jumped right in there and forced that ball back, so now they have to clear it, which they've struggled doing a little bit today.
Menino doing a nice job, and they get it over in time, and then the ball game of dropsy as Upchurch comes up with it. I talked about him being from Jacksonville. The explosion of lacrosse is real.
I tell you, Donovan's impressive. The defender there, he plays on the wing on face-offs, but he also goes down and plays some pole. He's a disruptive young man, and we mentioned earlier he's headed to Notre Dame.
Here is Skoma.
Hunter Chavette has been very quiet in this game. He's only had 1 or 2 shots. That's certainly what he's known for. You see him up there, number 19. They'd love to get him with his hands free somewhere in front of the goal.
Here's Skoma. Already been named to that Under Armour All-American Senior Game watch list. If you want to make it on the watch list for 2022, make sure you get to a tryout in 2021. This is Clark. Clark, as the shot on goal clock expires, and Brunswick will now have to face the Lawrenceville ride. And they make it look easy. They certainly have some athletes. Does the Wick. Luke Waters passes it over. And this is Delgado. Tommy Delgado down low. Gets it to Waters. Shot.
Offhand. He's a natural lefty. He switched it to his right hand. Really good defense by Lawrenceville. He got nothing on that shot. Easy play for goaltender.
And inside shot, go with the finish. Nice job by Chris Matea.
Well, Lawrenceville just beat Brunswick at Brunswick's own game. They cleared the ball effectively, and they pushed the ball up the field very quickly, and Brunswick just never got set defensively.
And Matea doing a nice job with the finish, but credit number 12, Drew Friedman, the Yale commit. He played on that Under Armour New Jersey squad last summer.
That time, Chavette gets involved with a nice assist over to Matea for his second goal.
Number 8, Charlie Hoban on the wing. He's committed to Wesleyan, the Lawrenceville long stickman, and he comes up with possession. But they keep going backwards, and that's what the Brunswick attack wants you to do. As Piacentini's in a world of hot water right now.
And sure enough, another clearing turnover for Lawrenceville.
And here's Will O'Connor. How do you resist the urge to throw that ball backwards when you come off the wing and make the good ground ball scoop? And you know you have numbers back there, but there's danger.
You mean picking it up, going backwards, and forcing yourself to clear the ball? Well, if that's the only play you have, you got to throw it back there, because don't forget, when you're clearing at your end of the field, you have 7 clearing players. They can only 6. So you have a one-man advantage.
Shot that time by Jackson Wolfram. He has a brother at Brown University. Oh, inside feed, finish. Shot goes wide. And Lawrenceville gets the backup. Great hustle on the end line. And now Piacentini looks to get it up. This is Hoban. Hoban gets it to Chase Lewis. Lewis back to Hoban.
Look at the Brunswick guys riding.
Yeah.
You love
They're
it.
everywhere.
It's just nothing more than effort. Just relentless effort. Nice clear.
Here's Matea. Chevette backpedals and wants it, doesn't get it, and it's still with Osborne. Now it's DJ Clark, back to Osborne. Here's Upchurch. Inside shot, Chevette. School's in, sucker. You called it, Bob. You said he's showing. Chevette feeling it. What a great feeling.
Good play by Upchurch here, driving. A little show by the Brunswick defenseman right there. He steps, watch this defenseman stepping away from number 19, Chevette. Oh my Lord, what a phenomenal shot.
That's where Grandma hides the thin mints, Bob. And he did also, the Brunswick defender slid to the player's eyes. You talked about that in the first half with Lawrenceville making that mistake. And Brunswick gathers the loose ball as Lawrenceville's cut it to 8-5 here in the third quarter, presented by Lax Works. Their rebounder is exceptional, Bob. It really, really is. Brunswick, this is Waters. Gets it down to Delgado. Cross the crease, shot, goal. Go on and rip the corner to hell so I can wake up in the morning with a story to tell.
Well, this is McAsee's 4th goal. Just hanging this left wing. Good ball movement. Watch Delgado. This is a young guy. Finds him over there. Throws that ball through the 2 or 3 defenders. Good ball movement. Waters to Delgado. Over to McAsee. Beautiful finish. Nice overhand. Beautiful shot. I wonder if...
and right away, Brunswick stretches it back to a 4-goal game, and here is Will O'Connor.
It's too bad that Coach Millman cannot be here. Not Coach Millman, excuse me. The Princeton coach can't come down and witness.
Coach Madelon.
Madelon can't come down and witness his future player having a nice game, 4 goals and an assist.
Luke Waters shot, bounds for the sideline. And Brunswick maintains possession. That's gain. Here's Delgado. Waters, now they push it across the top. Little hesitation move. Waters down low, shot. Oh, Piacentini. Robbery. And I think we got a flag down, a little hold call here.
Waters with a little one-handed goose. Great pass. Down to Delgado.
Piacentini, just a freshman.
Holding his holding his ground there, making a extra man offense. And we saw one earlier by Brunswick. They run this rotation out of a 3-3 set. They're starting in 2-3-1. See if they don't roll into a 3-3, and then they'll start moving their bodies.
Great skip pass, great finish. And when you move the ball that quickly and bodies around that well, Coulter Mackesy is going to find a little opening. 5 goals. A handful.
Through pass. This is how, look at that. That ball just got through 4 defensemen's stick.
Yeah.
Skip passes on extra man offense usually end up resulting in what just happened, and that's a goal. Mackesy's 5th tally.
Back at the face-off, and it's an actual X here at Lawrenceville. Usually just a dot these days. This is Owen Guest for Brunswick. Guest, little stop and go move, gets it to Mackesy. Back to Leo Hoffman now, patient. Tommy Quinson, the Denison commit, number 22 for Brunswick, in on attack. Coach Mike Caravana getting a good one there. And there's that double coming. Piacentini dives in the path of that offering.
Well, Coach Posner has to like what he watches out of Piacentini. He's going to be, he's good. Obviously only going to get better. This is playing against some men, because Brunswick some men on their team, as we've seen. What a nice save.
Hoban with the clearing duties for Lawrenceville. And here's Henry Murray, midfielder out of Trenton, New Jersey. Senior committed to Tufts. A couple NESCAC guys. He gets it over to Okupski. Okupski up the wing to Murray. Here's Matea. And a timely check. But a flag down now, so Lawrenceville can play some make it, take it. Start chopping into this. Matea, long looping pass. Okupski as the shot on goal clock expires.
And now we're going to see the Lawrenceville extra man. They scored a beautiful goal on a skip pass from Lawrenceville's number 22. DJ Clark standing up top, threw it down the wing to his teammate, Chris Matea, for a nice finish around the goal.
Here's Liam Sargent starting things for Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville in the home whites, Brunswick road dark. Here's Skoma, back down to Sargent. Hunter Chevette behind the cage. Clark, patient. They move the ball a lot more quickly on that Brunswick man up. Here's Clark. Chevette carries. Shot saved and off iron, perhaps. Luke Shlank, goaltender for Brunswick. He's committed to Georgetown. One of your favorite college programs, Bob.
Well, and the goalie coach at Georgetown I really like.
Any relation?
Happens to be my son.
Yeah. I thought you were just going to go ahead and say it. Inside feed goes awry, and Schlenk comes out to gather. And Little veteran presence by Shlank to roll that ball out to his man. And now it's ladled back to Shlank. And out of bounds.
Little sloppy. Good pressure by Lawrenceville. Little sloppy, though.
I like the goaltender coach at Georgetown, too. He's a fine young man.
Thank you.
Great parents raise great kids, right? Jack Skoma gets it taken away. Wow. Half of a rusty gate there by Owen Guest, number 14 for Brunswick. Look at this check. He just kind of skink. As we see Skoma with a bit of an advantage, and then the backhand flick of the wrist. This is Delgado. Shot sizzles wide as we're late into the third quarter, presented by Lax Works. Waters liked what he saw. And Lucas Delgado, now Tommy Delgado. Lucas back behind him, Mackesy, inside feed, and Piacentini has played outstanding today. He gets it to Chase Lewis. And again, that athleticism is evident when Lawrenceville's trying to clear.
They're going to have to throw this ball up the field.
Yep, they got to get it over.
About to burn. They got it over just in time.
Nice play by Upchurch. And now it's with Lucas Osborne. 50 seconds to go here, third quarter. Booker Corrigan, Bob Schreiber bringing it to you. Lawrenceville drives, low shot over the cage, backed up by Liam Sargent.
I couldn't tell. Was that Chevette that got that shot off? Or no, I don't think so. I think that was William Upchurch.
And here's Upchurch. Lucas Osborne, number 25. Now it's to Sargent. Fakes the feed to Chevette.
Brunswick's playing a little zone here. Changing up the defense.
Yep, late in the quarter. Chevette creeping on this side, catches, releases, feels it. Goodness!
Very similar. Brunswick thought they'd mix up the defense a little bit. I like zoning, especially at the end of the quarter, but give Phil credit, they were ready for it.
And you can see Chevette just creeping and creeping and creeping. He creates that pain. Boom.
And this is very similar to the goal he scored a little earlier in this quarter, standing right, in his wheelhouse. Elevates it. It's a tough one for a goalie to pick up when you're going low to high, and especially when it's placed where that one was, which was off his off-stick side right into the corner.
Procedural violation is a hold, and it's going to be white ball with 4 seconds to go. And I got to tell you, Bob, they go into that zone defense there. It's like defensively they're saying, we're drawing a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not. Yet a nifty feed from behind the cage, and Chevette gets a goal, and I get the win on the race to nifty there, Bob. Come on.
Well, Coach Posner, this well is not completely dry. We're starting to see some of their quality players. Yep. Chevette, nice feed just then from DJ Clark. Beautiful goal against the zone right at the end of the quarter. And this game is a lot closer than it was at halftime.
Fourth quarter about to start, brought to you by MedStar Health. And I'll tell you, Bob, I had a chance to work the Impact Academy. Go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com and check out the Impact Academy. Great coaches on both the men's and women's side, top D1 coaches, as well as some great lacrosse personalities, and a high level of play. and a lot of film for individuals who are trying to make highlight reels. As Hoban, Charlie Hoban out of Illinois, doing a great job coming off wings. And here is Drew Friedman, the Yale commit. Curious to see if he'll end up on that Under Armour senior game watch list.
Let's give Lawrenceville a little credit here. You know, they were on the short end.
Have I not been given credit?
No, they were on the short end of an 8-3, and it looked like Brunswick was going to pull away pretty good. They've closed the gap to 4 from the halftime score, but they've really looked pretty good doing it. They've settled into the game. They've run some effective offense. They've gotten Chevette's hands free twice for 2 beautiful tallies. And Brunswick hadn't had the best of it as they did in the first half. I'd clearly give that third quarter to the Big Red.
This is Matea. Now he gets it up top, number 11, Henry Murray. Committed to Tufts. Bounce shot. And Luke Shlank gathers that one easily.
Not a great shot. A little bit too easy for Luke.
Oh, the pass is picked off. And now we get the breakaway. Matea. Oh, and it's shut down. I don't know how Shlank did it. That could be a game changer. The beast in me is caged by frail and fragile bars.
Well, Matea's going to wonder
replay
how
of
he missed this. He's wide open. He's got time, room. He can pick any place on the goal, try to go near side, and just miss the cage.
Wow. That is not off. Brunswick back on offense as Lawrenceville got that failed clear at 10-7, has a much better scent to it than 11-6. See if Brunswick can capitalize on kind of a freebie. As Friedman playing some nice defense for Lawrenceville right now. Blake Borges, number 45, squares up on Chase Lewis. And the high pass. One of my keys to the game was turnovers, and Brunswick has turned it over 2 straight possessions now.
It's funny, though. Teams that travel usually struggle getting off the bus, as they say. Brunswick played really well in the first half, but that struggle seems to be showing its head here in the second half. Give Lawrenceville some credit for that, though.
And I can report on the field behind this game field, Lawrenceville girls have defeated Petty School. Chevette, top center. Couple goals already today. This is Osborne. Osborne, a little shake and bake. Too much bake. Hits the turf. And now we get a man down. And we hope he's okay. They can ill afford to lose anyone. They already lost Jack Riker to a broken hand. He's number 2, committed to Utah, Coach Holman. And this is Lucas Osborne, who's committed to Coach Andy Shea and Yale University.
Looks like he fell on his shoulder. Let's see. Oh, something happened to his shoulder, it looked like. And I don't know whether it was a check. I wonder if he had a pre-existing condition on that shoulder, because that thing, it looks like something happened pretty quickly.
Huntsville staff with a chance to talk with their charges. John Posner, Tucker Miser, Brian Hopper, and Colby Cohen doing good work for the Lawrenceville Big Red. Longtime coach at Lawrenceville, Marshall Chambers. Coached my friend Pete Nigerian back in his Lawrenceville days. Along with John Dressel, younger brother of Del Dressel, and also had the famous shot at the end of the Untitled game, Hopkins-Syracuse, and he hit Matt Palin in the stomach.
I was there, College Park, Maryland.
There was about 157,000 of us who say we were there. Do you have the stub still? Do you have the stuff? Do you have the proof that you were there?
Probably. There's Coach Posner.
The Impact Academy coach. What a great, great guy. Impact Academy, a great event. And John Posner could not be happier about getting us out here to the campus of Lawrenceville.
Skoma's had a nice game, number 3.
Skoma inside feed. Chevette finds a way to get his hands free like a magician.
Well,
what is up his sleeves?
Well, that time, dropping his hands free there actually took away any decent angle he had.
Go behind the back.
He's a Canadian. Well, he plays like one, I should say.
He's from Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Yes, but he very much plays like a Canadian. I have a feeling he's been north of the border a couple times.
Well, his dad was a heck of a hockey player at Brown. We've already covered that. I don't want to exhaust it. His father, Derek. Worm burner shot goal, DJ Clark. Welcome to the goodie room, because I know you want the goodies.
Lawrenceville's feeling it.
10-7.
This is one I think Shlank would prefer to get back. Just a very quick ball movement. I think Brunswick over slides there a little bit. Nice pass. And look, that's just a little worm burner that didn't have a whole lot on it. I think Shlank probably anticipated that ball going higher up into the air, and it did not.
Pre-whistle violation, they're going to call that. And Will O'Connor will put it in motion. He gets it down to Coulter Mackesy.
Well, this is
only 5 goals today for Mackesy.
I think it's probably it's time for Mackesy to see if he can't put in his 6th. Way early in the game, we were talking a lot about the way Brunswick plays offense. They attack very much from the top down instead of from the bottom or behind the goal up. They attack from the top down, and Coulter Mackesy almost on cue there. Just didn't get that ball where he wanted to. And goaltender, as you've referred to many times, Piacentino had a
Piacentini.
Piacentini, excuse me. Well, it's too many vowels.
Hey, close counts in this one for you, Bob. We love you.
But that was a pretty simple save, which he made, of course.
DJ Clark had a guy creeping in. He was still trying to get it over there to Will Upchurch. But now it's back to Skoma, who's performed admirably. Now it's Chevette. And this Brunswick defense, can you say extend? Here's Skoma. Rolls for his right.
Brunswick stuck with their game plan, offensively and defensively. And Lawrenceville has adjusted, I think, at both ends of the field very nicely.
Chevette pushes it down the side. DJ Clark comes away with it. Clark inside feed shot, save by Shlank. Oh, and some great magic work by Will O'Connor. How are you doing it?
Wow, what a beautiful play by him. He had 3 or 4 Lawrenceville guys around him, and he avoided that. Got the ball. Look at the Brunswick sidelines reacting to that.
That very well may be your New York rivals' play of the game.
The big save here. Dumps this ball inside. I think Mateo misses it. Great save by Shlank on that play. Watch this.
Boom. Takes his shoulder. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely fabulous play by Will O'Connor. Here's Coulter Mackesy.
Be a Wolverine, Will O'Connor is.
Mackesy rolls back, gets it behind. Little 2-man game with Delgado. Wide side feed, and they're going to award possession there at Brunswick. I thought that Piacentini had beaten him to the end line, or to the where it went out when it went out, because that's how you maintain possession.
I think we're going to have an extra man play. I wonder if that goes all the way back to that big play by Will O'Connor at the other end of the field. Did he get pushed
He
or
got shouldered, and he turned.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just guessing that it originated. We didn't see anything down at that offensive end.
And I will say from our broadcast position, we're a little bit too far from the box to know what the call was. Number 9, Will Upchurch in the box for Lawrenceville. And this highly skilled Brunswick man up. They move the ball so quickly, so cleanly. Outside shot, Piacentini. Oh, and he bobbles the pass, but comes away with it, then gets checked. The ball goes on the ground. And just like that, Brunswick back on offense and score on the net that was vacated. And that is Tommy Delgado.
What a tough play. Piacentino makes a great save. And he struggles to get the possession of the ball. He looks like he's got an outlet pass, and he tries to pull it back in his stick. He's out of the goal by then. And this is what, the second or third goal Brunswick scored off the ride.
Yep. Delgado that time on the pass by Jackson Wolfram. And Hoban still doing great stuff on the wings. I have been very impressed with Charlie Hoban.
It's going to be a penalty,
and that
I
might
think.
bring about a flag. Don't know quite why there was a whistle, but we'll find out.
I think they felt that the ball hit the ground, which immediately does not stop it. We are playing NCAA rules, so even if the ball hit the ground, Lawrenceville should have been able to repossess the ball, which they did. And that's actually just an inadvertent whistle.
Lucas Delgado did such a great job at that Under Armour tryout. Blake Borges, another star from that Under Armour underclass tryout for this Brunswick squad.
Lawrenceville's been good on the extra man. Chevette, Clark, Skoma. Got some quality players, Matea, and they've been very good. We got Sporn back in the game, so that's good, whatever that injury was.
Here's Chevette behind, the left-hander. A lot of bodies moving, a lot of balls moving. Penalty expires. Under 4 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. This is Lucas Osborne. Osborne stays right-handed the whole way, feeds it inside to Clark. Clark over to Skoma. Skoma, one of the captains. And I think we had a crease violation there. Oh, moving pick call, sorry. And now Lawrenceville doing some riding, but I'll tell you what, a lot of intensity as O'Connor now has it. Great face dodge.
I'm not sure who that was clearing the ball there, but he was getting some heavy heat. I think that might have been Colter Mackesy that went across the midline to help, to help Brunswick clear that ball just then. But it's, as you all can see from your screens, it's very hard to read the numbers in these dark jerseys.
This is Delgado. Gets to Waters. Waters left-handed. Inside feed. Shoots falling down. Post Malone rears his head. Ball gathered by Tyler Menino. He gets it to Matea. 2.5 minutes to go. See if we can get a late explosion by Lawrenceville. DJ Clark now gets it to Chevette.
Well, Brunswick is not intent on sitting back with the lead and making Lawrenceville come to them. They'll press out as they've done the whole game.
Here's Scoma, goal line extended, rolls back, comes out, shooting shot, goal. Jack, Scoma.
Sometimes, Booker.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can stop being a little aggressive and give the opportunity. Again, Scoma's just reacting to the defense. Overplayed, just like Matea did earlier in the game. A nice roll dodge away from the pressure.
And comes out shooting.
Comes out shooting. And less aggression there might have been in Brunswick's better interest.
Let your stick take your last step for you.
This guy's had a nice game, big number 8. I tell you what, Hoban's really been had a nice game. Picked up a couple
giving him some pressure.
That time the pressure paid off.
And we get a timeout by the Lawrenceville Big Red with 1:33 to go. 11-8. What a great, exciting quarter. Coach Posner takes a timeout. Booker Corrigan and Bob Shriver bring it down to the wire. Thanks so much to all our friends at Corrigan Sports Enterprises, including executive producer Ryan Corrigan. Thank you to Lax Works. They make such a great bounce back wall. It's a hard wall and it gets you better. You want to get better? Get a Lax Works wall. We want to thank MedStar Health for making this viewing possible. And of course, Under Armour. Makers of great gear. The Under Armour Underclass event is top notch, and here is
much a shot by Chevette. Whoops. I think those of us that played lacrosse back in the day, we wish we could do that, don't you think?
Yep. Under Armour Lacrosse live play of the game. Chevette going low to high. Feasting. Does Hunter Chevette. They could use a couple of those quick here at the end. So, Bob, it's 11-8. They're down 3. If they can score here, they'll cut it to 2. Captain Obvious in the booth with you. How about that?
There's really
That's good coaching.
There's really very little response to that. Lawrenceville, there's time remaining and time for them to get into this lead. They've been winning face-offs. So if they can score a quick one here, they can't be hanging around with the ball for too long. Coach Posner over there drew something up that he wants to see happen very quickly.
Matea down the wing. Clark pulls it, rolls back. I thought he was going to let it go right off the roll there.
Quality defense right there. That time the Brunswick defender did not overplay. That's Guest, who's had a really good game, headed to Army. He's clearly their best defensive midi.
Clark still with possession. And now he gets a little bit of his hands free, gets checked a number of times as his hands are no longer free. And Brunswick comes away with it. And it's in the capable hands of Coulter Mackesy. 5 goals on the day for Coulter.
To go with 1 assist. Just another day at the office for him.
Lawrenceville doubling anywhere they can. Goaltender Timmy Piacentini. You got me.
That's a tough one.
Piacentini.
How many valves in Timmy's game? I really like Timmy. He's just a freshman. He's going to be some player. Gets a little stronger, get a little bigger. He's obviously got a quick stick. And this game is in the record books. Brunswick coming down, as you said, 95 south from Greenwich, Connecticut.
To the New Jersey Turnpike.
To the New Jersey Turnpike, and whatever poll you're looking at, whether, there's a couple different polls. The poll we had up here at halftime, they're the 6th ranked team in the country, and then some places have them as a 3rd ranked team in the country.
They definitely played like a top 10 squad today, but credit Lawrenceville for battling back. And here is your player of the game. What an absolute stud. Under Armour Lacrosse Live.
Love
And the player of the game presented by MedStar Health. Great dodge by Coulter Mackesy.
Beautiful pass here by Delgado, and I really like that shot there. From that wing, straight overhand. That time a little toe drag, and he pulled it back up and dunked it. Coulter Mackesy's showing quite a bit of skill that he's taken 10 miles from where he's playing in this game up to Princeton, New Jersey for his college.
And he showed so many different ways to do it. Inside, outside, assists. He was picking up ground balls. He was riding. There's our next game, April 27th on Under Armour Lacrosse Live. Haverford, Episcopal. An absolutely massive rivalry game. Two teams that no matter what the record is, they will bring it. Great coaching staffs at both those locations. And, of course, thrilled to have you on the way up there with me, Bob. What do you think about Haverford Episcopal coming up?
Well, can we go up and play golf before the game? And what's that place called up there? I could do that.
If you pay the tolls and your caddy.
Well, listen, we saw a good game today. I think sloppy at times, but both teams showing their energy. A lot of quality riding on both teams. Brunswick especially, they turned the ball over riding a couple times. They got those nice, easy goals off the ride. And some quality players, obviously, starting with that man right there.
Coulter Mackesy.
Coulter Mackesy. Here's Matea. This is a really, just watch this, inside roll. Overplay by defenseman. Inside roll by Matea.
Gotta love it. Thank you so much to our friends at Lacrosse Sports Network. For Bob Shriver, I'm Booker Corrigan, reminding you, you only get one shot at today.